Hey fast fellas, SpeeDMan here. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play playing as Vercingetorix. This is a mod by Sukritact. It's essentially an alternative type of Gaul player. And this one's actually really unique. Gallic Confederation basically gives you a very nice buff towards your military when it comes to long-term city-state control. And then there's a secondary buff here, all-stat culture. This one is a fantastic one, and to show you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move over and take a look at what the surrounding tiles are going to look like. Boom! Look at that. Look at these tiles. They all just got 1 food, 1 gold. That's a big bonus. So what we're going to do is, because we're at a small population, we're going to focus on getting up to 2 population first. Move over this way. Looks like that might be coast area over here. So I'm going to move down here and just do a quick little check here. We're kind of like middle north of the map, it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and make my way over here. Just start checking things out. Get some information. Just like that. That is exactly what I wanted to check for. And we met Christina, so that's going to be very critical that we deal with that. First things first, we will do this, and then we are going to cancel and take the battle cry promotion. In this position, we can see that she does have a small military. Our military is quite small. That's more because our military units being weakened, but soon enough I'll be able to get started on kind of strengthening our position, so it won't be too bad. Fountain of Youth, very good thing. I'm gonna go ahead and move over into that spot here. Next turn I will buy Gisatai, and then I will just let that slinger get hard built, and I'm actually going to go ahead and get set up towards a forward settlement and then push towards that. So I first want to make sure I secure my military a little bit. I'm actually going to go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to wait till next turn to buy a slinger, but I am going to actually use this spot here to try setting up for this war. So I'm out of that spot now. And now I just get both of these units out of the way. Try to put them into a safer position if I can. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to go through that, back there, and I'm going to move up here. You are going to stay fortified. I want to see if I can bait that right-hand unit. There we go. So we have ourselves a good position here to get started with. Going to immediately go over and attack and kill that unit. Actually, honestly, long term, that might be the play. That's down to 5 turns. That's a big change. And let's just get a slinger as backup. Looking like God of the Forge is going to be the play here, as little the options that we have here. That's going to be the biggest one for us, really, at this stage. I'm going to wait until we have enough gold to buy another Gisatai. We have a couple turns left until we can get this next one. That's going to be a pretty important one for us. Again, just expanding our military out. Her military, so basically Christina's military at this point, we have dismantled it. Main threat right here is the barbarians. They're going to be a major problem. So we've got a few turns to get through them. This is going to be pretty darn difficult for us at this stage. We're going to take free inquiry. It's going to be the safe option for us at this stage. Really, the problem is there are not very many options for us to have. Because we have bronze working out, we can actually start looking for iron. That's going to be a very important thing. Not really too worried about getting swordsmen. That's not going to be a big thing. What we do want to do is eventually consider the idea of getting an Alpadum started. What that is the district unique to Gaul that is cheaper and available earlier than the district replaces the industrial zone. It's defensible with a ranged attack, +1 food for each adjacent camp or pasture, +2 production for each adjacent quarry or strategic resource. The fact that we have 4 archers and 4 Gisatai means we have a really good advantage. Our military, it looks small in terms of combat strength, but we have quite a few weakened units. I would say we have like 150 combat strength compared to her 83, and we should be able to level a lot of her attacks pretty easily, so it's not going to be very much threatening to us. I'm going to focus on that. I do want to get these monuments up. We need to get some culture moving along. First to have met Nalada. That's actually very, very good for us. We needed that badly. We're going to go ahead and... I'm going to make my way over here. I want to kill that. I want to kill that. Move over here. Take Battle Cry. Again, just get another unit healed up, and that's going to boost our combat strength up a little bit. And our combat strength is going to continue to get better as we get set up here. So that's why I'm just biding my time. I'm just being patient here. Working against the elements here, unfortunately. Sometimes it just does not go in our favor. But you can see these are very, very powerful units. Just move things back a little bit. That's all. It's not super threatening. Like, if she has units that can do some serious damage to us, that's okay. We'll move up here, move up here. Now we can actually start making our attack. It's going to be a little bit at a time, but this is going to be a really, really good way for us to get started here. Again, damage is small, but you can take a look here, 170 out of 200. Little by little, we'll just keep chipping away. And the more we chip away at them, the easier it's going to be for us to get set up here. Now, what I think we should do is we should consider getting a builder. Just having a singular builder, we can get a camp going, that'll be good. More importantly, I think it'll be a good idea for us to also consider getting a couple of these going. So, let's go ahead and just do a little bit of spending here. 2, 3. There we go. We'll have a builder come over, build a couple nice little quarries here, give this city some nice production potential, and then we can go from there. You have a promotion, so we're going to take Garrison for now. There. Now the city cannot heal. This is exactly what I want. Now that we're in a position that we can force the city into a siege, we're basically able to take full control of what we want to do with that city. Now we could basically just make sure that city can never heal, and we'll get started on actually doing our first city captures. Should be able to do that in the next 3 to 4 turns. I take it very wide here. No sense being too risky with the position. First things first, here's your attack here, here's your attack here, here's your attack here, here's your attack here. I want to see if there are units that need that promotion first. That's going to be a good way for us to get started, so let's go ahead and move that over. There we go. We've got a promotion for that unit now, and we own that city. So of course, we're going to keep that city. That's going to bring the loyalty back in our favor a little bit. Then we bring Victor over. So -14. We have a few turns, not a problem. If the city goes to soil, that's fine. We can just start taking cities, and then we can eventually focus on the capital. Once we take the capital, then it's going to be easier for us to start really displaying proper loyalty pressure. Now, for us to do that, what we want to do is immediately make our way over and start plunking away at the capital. The capital is much weaker, and we will have a much easier time actually displaying proper damage against such an opponent. What we will do though, let's just keep moving along here. Again, just have our scout. Scout's just kind of vibing out right now, just doing their thing. But we have a really, really strong position here. This is much more viable. It's a slow cooker position. And because this is a slow cooker position, we're actually going to be getting some very, very strong benefits here. We've got our third city. It'll go down to a second city once this rebels, but what'll happen is essentially you'll start to be able to capture cities. There are 6 cities in this region, and we have a nice little settler here. So before turn 100, we'll have this pretty much continent area covered. That right there is an important promotion for us. So we are going to get ourselves set up here. Now we can actually start doing just a little smidge of damage. So that'll just make it a little bit easier for us. Start moving these troops up into that position. And you can see that we're going to have a much easier time doing damage against the capital here. The capital does not have any reinforcements, which basically means that in this position, we can actually start plunking away at the capital much more effectively than that first city. So just gives us a nice advantage to work with. Get another troop. Now that we know this area is secure, I can actually consider some other options and other areas for us to check out. So I can actually go ahead and start exploring this western area. I'm going to go ahead and set up a couple quarries in this region as well. Again, just things for us to consider. 1 turn away from that, 2 turns away from ironworking. That is perfect. We'll go ahead and get that queued up afterwards. Temple of Artemis right there would be a much better spot. Yeah, I like the idea of a Temple of Artemis being there. 3 housing for the capital, that's a must. Right now, this stage of the game, absolute must. I'm going to bring that down. I want to go ahead and just do that. Again, just setting a little bit more of a forward position. The earlier we do that, the easier it's going to be for us to really start to push up and just get set up for some attacks. We'll do this and do that just to protect ourselves. No sense really taking too much of a chance here, getting our units any more injured than they already are. Okay, so there's not much here. I'm going to have to... I might as well explore the rest of what's over here. That is going to be a problem. Barbarians are absolutely going to be the death of me. There. And we're pretty much back up to proper strength against a lot of those units, so we're actually looking pretty good here. A little bit of damage. They're going to get some of their health back, but it's not too bad. I really don't mind seeing them get their health back for a moment. That's not going to hurt me in the long term. So we're fine. Did spawn a catapult, but honestly, I don't think the catapult is going to do very much for her. Small difference with the original build for the Oppidum. So now with these Oppidums, what essentially is going to happen is that any Oppidum that is made, what they do is they actually come with ancient walls. And that for me is a massive, massive benefit. There are a lot of things you could do with that. For example, I can actually really work the production in this city. The city actually has a fairly viable production. I can do something with that. That is a tangible benefit that I can make a serious push with. There we have it. Yet another city taken. And it's definitely going pretty well in our favor. Let's see if coastal tiles are impacted by this. They are. That is beautiful. 1 gold, 1 food to all these tiles around, including coastal tiles. That's massive. That's a big bonus right there. That has major implications on the game setup that I have here. I love it. 3rd promotion. I would say honestly right here. Zone of control. Fantastic option. Basically what zone of control is going to do for us is that if I were to have this unit next to that city right here, that is actually going to exercise control over this area. So if I placed a couple other melee units, this would fill in the gap here and actually create a siege condition. So very, very, very helpful. Something you do want to make sure you do. It just puts you in a very good spot. That is best case scenario. That is literally... Okay, the AI just completely blundered that. That's perfect. And that Gisatai's not dead. Cool. So they can't get any health back anymore. So I will move up. Boom. 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 And boom, goodbye.
Jag älskade all.
Nope, I don't really care about wasting the Air Score. I don't want to deal with that war anymore. I've had enough of that war. What it also does is it eliminates Taruga as a problem child, essentially. So that particular city-state is no longer going to be a problem. So perfect. Whew. That's really, 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 really good for us. can now actually start displaying proper loyalty pressure against a lot of this area. So next turn, a lot of this region is going to start converting in our favor. If it does not right away, we will just have to take these troops up and just do some hefty damage. Now, what we need to do, though, is just make sure all of these units have Water of Life. This one does. This one does. You heal up all the way. This one does not. So this little 7 shape right here does not. That's good to know. Perfect. So what that means is basically now that we have this position, we have a super nice position to work with here. It is a fantastic advantage now that we can work with. Basically what we're going to be doing is considering what else we can really work on here. So main thing is we have very little population. Let's focus on getting population. The more population we have, the more pressure we're going to be able to exploit into this area. So that's what we want to do. We went. Did it misclick again with the... Oh, that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, misclicked the spearman into an open spot, which got a kill, which I really don't like, but unfortunately is what it is. Alright. Now this area is more securable. I'm going to go all the way up there. Reason being is I just want to go ahead and get ourselves a nice setup with another city here. Even if it's a winter city, it can just help us in the long term, just having another city. I want to just be filling in the area with cities that are potentially habitable, and our ability here makes that very much so. Well, I can tell you right now, that dude is going to be dead. Yeah. Yeah. That did not last too long for him. Alright. Here we go. We have proper zone of control. I'm going to go ahead and just start getting a lot of this prepared now. That way we can get a little bit better food potential, and because we'll have so many farms around here, once we get eventually into the mid-game with feudalism, we'll have a very nice set of farms to work with. A couple little triangles here will actually be really nice. We'll get a bunch of food coming in. That'll give us a nice mid-game explosion in terms of population. The next thing we're going to be doing is, I would say, honestly, just focusing on getting set up here. The more we set up for that point, it's going to be a really big bonus for us. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to switch this off, take Diplomatic League. Now that we have that, basically, what I'm going to do is I'll take that off, move that, take Strategos, and then basically we are all set there. We're now in a position where we can kind of set up towards what we need in the mid-game. First thing we're going to do, though, is go to Bologna, do that, do that. It's going to give us certainty. I need to make sure I get really going with a lot of campuses. The more campuses that we get going, the easier it's going to be for us to really start establishing good tempo, especially in the long term. This city definitely needs population growth, so I am trying to set up towards that. We'll probably set up a couple farms around here once we really get moving, so not a problem. This has been a fantastic episode. We have gotten quite a bit of progress in. This is a very much fun type of character, and I like this build a lot. This is very different from the usual playstyle, particularly when it comes to city building. It's quite different. Of course, you have to space some of your districts out. You cannot really utilize the adjacencies like you normally would. While you can technically place them down next to your city centers, the thing you can't really do is you cannot really gain the adjacency bonuses from different districts or specialty districts, so there is a bit of downside. You know, there are some downsides and nuance to it, otherwise it would just be an OP character with no downside. But I do like Vercingetorix. This is a very fun particular type of character, and I like the build overall. Well, that being said, really good first episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching that, hit that like button and subscribe. SpeeDMan out.